Have you ever met a man who speaks with the confidence of a king, but the wisdom of a fool? The kind of man who interrupts every conversation, mistaking noise for knowledge? What if I told you that this type of man isn't just annoying, he's dangerous, because he can slowly drain your peace, your time, and your energy before you even notice? There's one type of man you must learn to spot early. The most dangerous kind of man is the one who is ignorant, yet convinced he's a genius. You've seen him before. He talks over people without hesitation. He dismisses advice before even hearing it. He reacts impulsively, letting his emotions steer every decision, and yet he genuinely believes this makes him strong. But beneath all the noise, there's no depth, no wisdom, only ego. And here's the real danger. If you don't recognize the warning signs soon enough, you might find yourself caught in his storm, pulled into drama you never asked for. In today's video, we're breaking down 5 unmistakable signs, rooted in ancient Stoic philosophy, that you're dealing with this type of man. You'll learn how Marcus Aurelius avoided letting the ignorance of others poison his own mind. You'll hear Epictetus's timeless warning about people who mistake loudness for intelligence. And most importantly, you'll discover how to protect your inner peace when life inevitably puts one of these men in your path. Stay with me until the very end, because one of these signs is so subtle, so easy to overlook, that it can sneak into your life without you realizing it, until it's too late. Sign number 1. He talks more than he thinks. A foolish man believes that speaking louder automatically makes him right. He interrupts. He dominates every conversation. He speaks over people, not to engage, but to prove he's in control. The Stoics knew the truth. Better to remain silent and be thought wise than to speak and remove all doubt. This isn't just a clever quote, it's survival advice for your mental and emotional well-being. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The more we value talking, the less we value truth." When a man rarely pauses to reflect, when he never asks sincere questions, when he listens only to respond, rather than to understand, you're not dealing with confidence. You're dealing with arrogance wrapped in ignorance. And that's a dangerous combination, because it blinds him to his own flaws while exhausting everyone around him. Sign number 2. He reacts emotionally to everything. Emotion itself is natural. The problem is when emotion controls the man, instead of the man controlling the emotion. Anger, jealousy, pride. These aren't just feelings for the foolish man, they are his decision-makers. He explodes at the slightest discomfort. He lashes out when something challenges his fragile ego. He mistakes emotional outbursts for strength, believing that volume equals authority. But Epictetus warned us long ago, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. A wise, stoic man pauses, breathes, evaluates. A foolish man attacks without thinking, blames without evidence, and spirals into chaos. And when his chaos collides with your life, it's only a matter of time before it becomes your chaos, unless you know how to step back. Sign number 3. He can't handle being wrong. What happens when ego meets insecurity? You get a man who fears being corrected more than he fears failure. Challenge his ideas and you'll see the mask slip instantly. He'll deflect. He'll get defensive. He'll turn the blame back on you. Why? Because his ego is built on sand, shallow, unstable, and easily washed away by truth. As Seneca once wrote, "The greatest obstacle to learning is thinking you already know." A wise man seeks truth, even when it hurts his pride. A foolish man seeks validation, even when it means clinging to lies. If he refuses to grow, he will make sure you don't grow either. Being around him feels like being trapped in quicksand. Every time you try to move forward, he pulls you back down. And this brings us to the next sign, which reveals an even deeper flaw, one that can quietly destroy your sense of self if you're not careful. We've already peeled back the layers of arrogance and fragility, how the foolish man talks more than he thinks, reacts before he reflects, and fears being wrong more than he fears being ignorant. But these flaws don't just stay inside him, they spill out into every space he enters. And if you're not careful, that spillover will soak into your life too. Sign number 4. He drains the room, not builds it. The easiest way to measure a man's true nature? Watch what happens to the energy of the room when he walks in. Does conversation become warmer, or does the air tighten? Do people lean in when he speaks, or lean away, silently checking the clock? A foolish man carries chaos in his pocket and spreads it like a bad scent, subtle at first, then impossible to ignore. He thrives on confusion because clear waters expose his lack of depth. He stirs drama because calm makes him irrelevant. He creates tension because peace leaves no space for his ego to play. He's addicted to control but lacks the self-awareness to see that the only thing he's truly controlling is how quickly people want to leave his presence. He gossips, not because he knows the truth, but because he fears being forgotten. He belittles, not because others are small, but because it's the only way he can feel tall, and every room he leaves is scattered with emotional messes that someone else has to sweep up. The Stoics taught that wisdom builds calm, while ignorance creates noise. Marcus Aurelius embodied it, entering a room as a stabilizing force, not a spark for conflict. So here's your litmus test. Is he adding value or simply taking up space? Is his presence like a steady flame, warming and guiding, or like a draught of blowing out the candles others have lit? If your gut tells you he's the latter, listen to it, because the longer you stand in a room he's draining, the more he'll pull from you, your energy, your focus, your peace, until you forget what calm even feels like. Sign number 5. He pretends to know everything. This one's quiet, but deadly. A foolish man cannot bear the thought of saying, "I don't know." So he acts like an expert in all things, philosophy, politics, science, even the story of your own life. His voice is full of certainty, but his certainty is paper-thin. Ask him a surface question, and he'll answer with confidence. Ask him a real question, something that requires depth, lived experience, or actual understanding, and watch the mask slip. His words stumble, his points scatter, his confidence turns to deflection. That's because his knowledge isn't built, it's borrowed, memorized, not mastered, rehearsed, not real. It's like a stage set, convincing from a distance, hollow when you knock on it. Socrates, the father of much Stoic thought, said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." The wise man embraces humility because he knows that's where growth begins. The foolish man clings to false authority because admitting ignorance feels like death to his ego. And here's the tragedy. The man who cannot admit he doesn't know also cannot truly learn. Without the humility to be wrong, he'll repeat the same mistakes forever and drag you into the loop with him. So when you see someone dodging genuine curiosity, pretending at expertise they haven't earned, or shutting down every conversation that challenges them, you're not looking at strength, you're looking at fear in disguise. How to protect your peace and rise above? Here's where the Stoics get practical. Don't argue with fools, rise above. They knew that engaging in verbal battles with a foolish man is like wrestling in the mud. You both get dirty, but he enjoys it. Why? Because a foolish man isn't merely wrong, he's committed to staying that way. Your reason doesn't threaten him, it feeds his drama. Marcus Aurelius said it plainly, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice. So don't waste your energy trying to convert the unwilling. Don't throw truth into a mind that's locked from the inside. You win not by overpowering his argument, but by refusing to step onto his stage. You win by walking away. You win by becoming the man who listens before he speaks, reflects before he reacts, and learns before he lectures. The more you master yourself, the less power foolish people have over you. You don't need to control them. You only need to control you, your focus, your reactions, your boundaries. This is the quiet power of Stoicism, the ability to leave a fool behind without resentment, without noise, without looking back. Call to action. If this message opened your eyes even a little, tap like to keep it moving forward. Subscribe to the Stoic Art of Living if you're ready to keep building a mind that stays steady under pressure, and share this with someone who needs to hear the truth, even if they're not ready to admit it. You have one job now. Think deeply, speak wisely, walk away quietly. Until next time, stay strong, stay stoic.